Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fubzy's Tank Academy. Now I've got some news for you today on a free premium tank giveaway that I'm going to be doing, so stay tuned throughout the video for that. What we're going to be covering in today's video is how to peekaboo effectively in your tank. Now as you can see, both the enemy team and the friendly team have both got 4 top tier heavy tanks, and obviously on this map the heavy tanks generally tend to fight it out over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over there and we're going to see what we come up against and what we can do. Now the IS-6 that we're in, is a nice tank. It's a premium tank, so you get the extra credit bonus, which is nice. It's got quite a small turret there. It's quite bouncy, this tank. Doesn't have the greatest gun, however, so you can find that, especially against other heavies, that sometimes you do have to fire some gold because otherwise you can bounce a lot. And of course, when you're playing for credits, firing gold is not something you want to be doing. So we take up a position here where we can start to peek out around the corner and put some damage in, and we score our first damaging hit there on the 110, and then we fall back. And this is important because that gives your teammates a chance to put some damage in as well. So we bounced one off the cupola there of the Wheezy, and it was showing as orange before he even fired, so I'd got a good understanding of the fact that it was probably going to bounce, but we hadn't got any other shots on at the time, so we took it. We managed to put one into the IS-6 there through his turret, and as I say, I mean, it is quite bouncy, and you will see a couple more shots that we try in a minute do bounce off there. But we just seemed to hit that one spot on the money, and we're fortunate enough to get through. Now, the other benefit to this position is that you generally artillery safe because you're hugging this wall here. Their artillery shells. It's very difficult for them to hit that tank. If you're one of these guys that sat over here, then you are open to artillery fire, so you have got to be careful of that. So as you can see, we're just kind of popping out, pulling back, popping out, pulling back, trying to get them to take shots where we know that they're likely to bounce. And we're in a little bit of a pickle here because they've got 3 tanks, we've got 3 tanks. Sorry, we've got 4 with the T26. But our tanks don't seem to be getting much damage in, and theirs are. So around about here somewhere, I'll make the call that, I think it's after this next shot, that actually, this fight isn't going too well. The opposite flank isn't going too well. In fact, that's abysmal. And in terms of team scores, something's got to change. So I load up my 5 premium rounds, and I only carry 5 because I don't want to be, shooting all gold and losing credits. But we're now going to try and peekaboo, but with the extra penetration and the gold rounds. So start off, put one straight through the roof of the enemy IS-6. And that's 1 tank out the game and 1 less that we've got fighting against over here. I've got to be quick with this because the enemy flank on the our flank on the other side has been completely overwhelmed by the enemy now. So you might see me start to take a little bit more of a risk. I pop out here, I realise that I haven't got the greatest gun depression, so I have to pull out a little bit further than I would have liked. It allows them to take my tracks off, and I then pull back. This time I try and reposition my tank a little bit better. Wait for him to fire, pull out, and again take another one out of the game. So that's 3 tanks out the game on the last 3 shots fired. Now we need to get into this Tiger. We need to get him taken care of because the enemy are nearly at our base. So we pop out and again use a gold round and pop that one straight through and take him out the game as well. Now you'll see me calling for him to defend the base. But that's kind of the key message that I wanted to show you today was when you peekaboo, hide your tank, pop out when they've just fired, or if you've got to bait them into shooting, just jig backwards and forwards a little bit, keep your armour angled so you're liable to bounce if they do hit you. And then once they've fired, pop out, try and pick a weak spot if you've got the time. If you haven't, because there's multiple tanks there, then just snapshot, get your shot off as quick as you can and pull back into cover. Peekabooing is great fun, I love it, it's one of my favourite things in the game. But it's kind of a time and a place. There's a lot of people that try and peekaboo when really they should be side scraping. So as you can see here then, we've switched back to the armour penetrating rounds. and we saw him coming, so we managed to pop one into him, and that puts us on to 5 kills now. We try and move over around the back of the T26 so we're not in his way if he wants to pull back, because he's trying to peekaboo. And we line up the shot and wait, confident that one's going to pop out. He does, and now we pick up our 6th kill, and of course the Top Gun medal. Now here you'll start to see a little bit more of the peekabooing, popping out there, trying to get the T26E4 on the side of his turret, which is one of the few places you can penetrate this thing from the front. And then again, pulling back behind the rocks so that if he pulls out, he can't hit us. Manoeuvring again to allow our friendly tank a bit of room so that I'm not going to block him. And then pulling forward and trying to hit, this time, his machine gun port, which is the other weak spot on the front of that tank. Now, he bounces off us and we bounce off him. So I've decided now, right, enough's enough. I'm going to swap to my remaining gold round and pull forward, and we're going to try and hit him with that. So again, we're aiming for that machine gun port, and this time we do put one into him for 368 damage. But again, pulling back. So we're using the rocks, and we're pulling forwards and backwards using those rocks. It's a good cover and allowing us to not take damage. Now that time we popped out, he was waiting for us. We didn't angle the armour because of the T25-2, and he managed to put a round into the side of our tank for 253. But he's now got a whole host of problems. Although he's just taken out the KV4 there, he's now surrounded. So we pop forward, take him out the game, and then straight forward because we want to get some pressure on that T25-2 as well. By the time we get there, we've just reloaded, we block his shot and take him out the game as well, putting us up onto 8 kills. Now there's only the artillery left, and although he does manage to put one into us, we don't actually get enough time to get down there and take him out before the IS-3 does. So a little bit of a spoiler for you, the IS-3 takes out the 2 remaining artillery pieces. Now, as I said, we are going to be giving away a premium tank for free. This is made possible thanks to a donation that we received, and if anybody wants to donate, however much you want to donate, okay, the link is at the top of my channel. On the channel art on the bottom right hand corner you'll see it says channel donations, and if you'd like to donate you can do so there, and that just helps us to put together some nice little prizes for you. The prize that we're going to be putting up is a tier. Well, actually, I'm not going to set a tier. Whoever wins can pick a premium tank of their choice up to the value of £10. Now, this is going to be on the EU server, but you can pick a tank up to the value of £10, no more, and I will get you that tank. The only conditions to taking part is that you would need to like this video, you would need to subscribe to my channel, and I would ask you please to share my channel or share one of my videos with your friends, with your community if you're from a different clan, and that would help me to grow the channel, which means I can do more of these giveaways, so you've got even more of a chance of winning again in the future. Okay, I'm Fubzy. I hope you found this one informative and enjoyable, and until next time guys, take care.